Disclaimer. Although no vulgar language was used in this video, the lack of profanities is well compensated for by the absolute futility of its content.
There was a soccer player in Argentina named Maradona. We had the war with the British, Argentina did, in the early 80s, where obviously we were overpowered, and it was a horrible thing, like every war that you can think of. And it was over a little island that represented a great deal for us. My understanding of the event was that at the time when this happened, our government was committing a lot of irregularities, and they were trying to cover that up. And the only way to distract the people of Argentina from that was to create a war, because wars create patriotism, and patriotism makes people blind. So what happened is that the person who was our leader at the time, Etiari, declared war, and Margaret Thatcher, who was the prime minister in England at the time, said, hell yeah, over the islands, those islands are ours. So we went to war, and obviously we lost. It was a sad event. We've all studied this in school, the Falk Island War. And needless to say, Argentinians felt betrayed, and they felt overpowered and cheated in every way, right? In '86, the World Cup, the Soccer World Cup, we played against England. And more than a soccer game, it represented a second chance at this war that resulted so poorly for us and so unfair. In this match, there was a player named Maradona, Diego Maradona. The first goal he scored against the British, he scored that with his hand. They called it the hand of God. The British hate it because it's cheating. In soccer, you're not supposed to touch the ball with your hand. Argentina, every Argentinian, every South American person loved it, absolutely loved it, because we felt vindicated. We felt that there was some justice done in the soccer field about what happened. The second goal was what is called the goal of the century, because it was the best goal ever scored. They pass the ball to him, half field, and he passes every single British person in the team, including the goalie, and he scores. The guy became a god in Argentina. There is even a church after him where instead of our Father, they say our number 10, because he was number 10, and they preached to him and everything. He was a god. He made some choices in his life that were not the best, to say the least, but in the field, and the happiness that he brought to the people at the time when it was most needed was unparalleled. Well, today he died. It's a very sad day. People who are used to watching our videos, they might know that I look a little upset. Maybe they cannot tell, which I hope they don't. But it was upsetting, and honestly, it caught me by surprise. I didn't think I would get as upset as I did about what happened today. But it got me to think about the legacy that he left, because this guy was almost a living myth, you know? For you to be a myth, you had to be dead. But he was a myth while he was alive. And so he was special. Now, as somebody said on TV earlier this morning, now he is like every other myth because he's dead, right? But it got me to thinking about something that I've been experiencing lately, and I kind of wanted to bring it to the table, which is this idea that you told me earlier, Weavy, this feeling of monotony. And sometimes in the morning, there is a certain degree of dread about why does today feel like it's going to be exactly the same as yesterday? I know what my itinerary is. I know what the structure of today will be, and it's almost identical to yesterday. And then this worry overcomes me, where I worry about, will I be, if death comes to me, same way it came to Diego, right? Can I say that I left something behind? Can I say that I left a mark, that I did something that goes beyond raising children and goes beyond being a father? Everybody goes there. Oh, you're a father. Great, wonderful. I don't think it's that complicated to give birth to have a child. To give birth, yes, it's a woman, but as a guy, it's easy for guys to have children. Just stick it in, you have a baby. Raising a child is different, but even then, I'm talking about a personal mark that goes beyond our children. A book, something, an achievement, something that you can be proud of, that you can look back and say, this is my mark. If I die tomorrow, I left something behind. I like to think that this thing we do now, that is the goal, right? I think once you and I were talking, we be saying, maybe when our daughters are older, if either one of us is no longer here, they can watch these videos and still, it's a way of being there, right?
No, I used to feel that way, as if I was put on this earth to accomplish something, but I have no idea what it was. And apparently I didn't really do anything out of the ordinary. In small ways, little accomplishments, but let me ask you a question. Why is it that you want to leave something? What's the motivation that you want to feel that you left something? For what reason? Just to excite yourself?
No. I excite myself in different ways, Tony. Okay, all right. So I want to answer that.
Really, what's the reason?
Yeah, okay. Everybody who knows me knows there's a great deal of ego. It's the trademark of a proper Argentine. But there's more to it. When you learn any language as a second language, you listen to that language, and I'm going to say something people are going to criticize, but you observe the language, which is, you don't observe what you hear, but you pay so much attention to it, you're almost observing it as an outsider. And so everything sounds interesting. One of the things that caught my attention that people say here in the States is, what are you doing today? What are you doing right now? And people say, I'm just killing time. You ever heard that? I always thought that's funny. People say that because I don't think that we kill time. I think that time kills us. Maybe I'm confused and mistaken, but so far as I'm concerned, every day we have a little less to go. And so I don't think that we're killing time. And then it got me to thinking, because I think about a lot about unnecessary things.
Well, I think when you wake up and you realize that so much of what you do in the day is structure, sometimes there's a great comfort in structure. You would think on the surface it's boring to do the same thing every day, but you get used to it and comfortable in it. So it shouldn't bother you that it feels a little bit monotonous or repetitive, every day the same. The other thing is, Juan, you're evaluating how up your day is by how new and exciting things are. And it may be that nothing exciting is ever going to happen again. And that should be a realization. It shouldn't make you down. It only makes you down is if you're expecting something extra interesting to happen and it doesn't. But if you realize that most likely nothing that interesting is going to happen anyway, that it shouldn't bother you as much.
I think I understand more of what you're saying, and you're speaking again about, leaving a legacy and kind of leaving your mark on the planet, and I can definitely I think associate a lot more with that. I know I myself, I consider myself a troublemaker.
Hey, little troublemaker.
You silver-tongued devil, you.
I try to I'm always trying to solve problems, and and I guess maybe you have that mentality where you want to leave something, uh, God forbid something should happen, something that's a legacy, something that hopefully you're making either the planet or the world or your family, a better family, a better world, a better planet. Um, so I think it's like an altruistic cause. It's something that I think a lot of us. I know I've thought of that every once in a while, and maybe you're feeling you're not you haven't done everything you can to achieve that yet.
Is there a way to actually properly kill time? And my only conclusion, limited as it may be, was through a life project. And the definition of a life project is something that needs to be different from entertainment. Entertainment has a beginning and an end. A life project never ends. It ends with you dying, and once you die, it continues. The legacy of what you started as a life project while you were alive continues. And so how can one say, I've successfully killed time? And the answer that I came up with, you're welcome to explore this further, is if you engage in a life project at some point in your life, and you live to be 90 years old, and after you die, the fruit of your project, the legacy of your project, outlives you by one day, meaning 91 days, 90 years and one day, is important to people, and people still find it useful. One who is not you, because you'll be dead, will be able to say, my father killed time.